Good evening, I'm Febin Casahoon. We start tonight taking a closer look at public transportation in Western New York. Now, as the results of a year-long survey about the NFTA have now been released. Now, I first told you about the Rate Your Ride at this time last year. Now, the 10-minute questionnaire gave NFTA riders a chance to weigh in on their experiences, good and bad. More than 2,300 people responded, and while more people felt satisfied than dissatisfied with the buses and the Metro Rail, a third of people who responded said that they felt unsafe or uncomfortable, and more than 40% of people said public transportation was unclean. Now, the survey shows that there are a lot of different opinions on public transportation, now especially in Buffalo. Now, our Jocelyn Person joins us now. Now, Jocelyn, what did folks that you spoke about say to you?
Well, Febin, they told me that they still feel that more needs to be done by the NFTA in terms of having more transportation access. So now the people behind the study say it shows that the NFTA needs to make some improvements to make for a better experience for riders like one mother I spoke to who tells me she's tired of not seeing more improvements within the NFTA transportation system in both Erie and Niagara counties.
I am not the only mother that relies on the public transportation. I'm not the only person, period, that relies on public transportation.
Meet Aja Threet. She's the mother of a 2-year-old. Aja relies so much on the NFTA transportation system to go to work, pick up her daughter, and go back home.
It is definitely a learning experience, trying to get out the house with a toddler, especially when you're relying on public transportation. So those are one of the factors, because obviously it can be hard getting out the house when you're elderly or anything of that nature. But those are just one of the factors that a lot of the community wants the NFTA to take into consideration.
A consideration that many people at the Meriwether Library spoke about on their experiences using NFTA. This meeting comes after a year-long survey led by Columbia University researchers. They found that zip codes with lower income in Buffalo tends to be more dissatisfied with public transportation while feeling unsafe and uncomfortable. Aja tells me she remembers a time when her job wasn't on the bus route.
Was maybe if there was a bus route that was close to it, it was about a good 30-minute walk. And I can remember times where I had to do that. And especially during the winter time. We all know Buffalo winter.
She even says when she lived in Niagara Falls, there were at least 5 buses running.
Maybe every 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes maybe every hour. And they only go to the main parts of Niagara Falls at that.
In Tuesday's meeting about the survey, they also highlighted those with disabilities not being too satisfied with NFTA.
From the disability standpoint, doesn't tell me anything I don't already know. The NFTA is, for a lot of our community, the only transportation in town. So to deliberately say, I'm unhappy, right, is a problematic issue. So we want to be able to take the Rate Our Ride members and challenge the NFTA.
The NFTA did release a statement saying these independent surveys conducted by the American Bus Benchmarking Group continue to show a high level of customer satisfaction.
NFTA is the community. We are a community. So my message is just we just need to work together as a community. That is the only way that we're going to strive. That's the only way that we're going to keep leveling up.
Now, the NFTA also says they're looking for more opportunities to improve the quality of the paratransit system. Now, I'll post a link to that story for you on WKBW.com. Febin.
All right, Jocelyn, thank you so much for that report.